Alright guys, so in this part of the architecture visualization tutorial, we're gonna start texturing the meshes. So we're gonna go ahead and then start with this piece over here. And if you watched the last video, I made you guys download the necessary textures that we're gonna use, and I made you guys aware that some of my textures that I'm going to be using might be different from yours, because some of them are paid for and others are free. So I made you guys download the free ones, and maybe I might end up texturing with the paid ones, but it should be an equivalent texture that I made you guys download in the previous part, if you get what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna go ahead and then jump to the first texturing, but before we do this, I'm just gonna open the image for us real quick so we can see what we're trying to do here. So the first thing is going to be the bricks. Okay, so I made you guys download an equivalent texture, but the texture I'm going to be using is not a free one. So you guys can just use the equivalent free one that I made you guys download, or yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and let me disable this real quick. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so let's go ahead and then let's split this view again, and I want to change it to UV editing or UV editor. All right, and let's go into the materials tab, and let me click on new, and I want to say brick wall. Alright, so we're gonna call that brick wall, and of course we need another tab. So I'm just gonna split this one, or basically let me split this one instead. Alright, and then the whole thing is starting to look tiny, but we should be good. So let me take this one. I'm gonna press Ctrl T to, if you have your Node Wrangler enabled, just press Ctrl T, and it's gonna add the image editor, the image texture and everything for you. Alright, so let's open this. And let's add in the first texture. So it's in my architecture texture, and I'm going to go with brick industrial, and it's going to be high res. So let's see, where is the color? All right there. So I'm going to load this in real quick. Come on, it's going to take a while because it's really, I downloaded at a higher resolution. It was from polygon.com, if you know that website, the website for Andrew Price. You can get some cool textures there and use it. Alright, so let's go into face select mode here, and then we're gonna go and press, let's take everything first. Alright, and we're gonna press U and then unwrap this. So once we've done that, we're gonna make one of the faces the active element. I'm gonna press U, and I'm gonna say follow active quads. I'm gonna press OK. Okay, so that didn't work, but there's a particular way this works out. And I think it's, let's go with project from view first. So something like this. I want to press U and then follow active quads and then press OK. Okay, that didn't work either. Let me get to the side view. Press U and then let's say project from view. Okay, I think, is it Q projection? It's one of these tricks that I used. I think it was Q projection. Yeah, Q projection. So you're gonna select Q projection first, and you're gonna press U and follow active quads like this. And then we're good to go. So it's going to kind of follow the quads for you quite equivalently, and then try to unwrap it following this particular face you selected here, and use that to unwrap the rest of the face. So hopefully when we apply the mesh to this, it comes out great. Alright, so we're gonna go into material preview and see what this looks like. Alright, so it's not bad. As you can see, it's not bad at all. Alright, so all this area is not going to be visible, so don't worry about that side. We're just going to make sure the most important side have their UVs unwrapped properly, which they are. And this area right here, this area shouldn't be part of this because it has a different texture to it. I'm just going to press P and separate that selection. And now let me take this again. And I think everything came out great. So if we take a look up here, we have about 20 or 30 bricks from top to bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have about 30 of them. All right, but it doesn't have to be exact. So let's go into edit mode and let's take everything. So we're gonna scale this up and then say maybe 10, and that's too much. So let's try 5. I think 5 kind of came out great. We're just gonna have to take a look and see how that looks. All right, maybe that's too much. We're gonna have to reduce that. So let's scale it and let's try 3. 3 is way too less. So let's try 4. Alright, 3.5. I think 3.5 might be the value we're looking for. Yeah, 3.5 is definitely the value we're looking for. Alright, so with that done, what we're going to do now is to loading the other parts of the texture. That is the roughness, the UV, not UV, the normal map. So first of all, let's load in the roughness, which I think, let me just switch this real quick to listed, and it's this one right here. So gloss, it says gloss, and we're going to set that into the roughness right here, just like that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very glossy. So we're going to have to invert this. So let's go to color and let's select invert. I'm going to set that in here, and that should give us the right value. So I'm going to take these two now and press F just to fill in the texture coordinate. I'm going to press Shift and D to duplicate this. Let me press F on this, and I want to change this to non-color. Alright, so now we're going to load in the normal map in this image texture here as well. So normal map, I'm going to set it to non-color as well. So non-color. I'm going to press Shift and A and then add in vector and normal map right here. Let me take these two and press F to fill in the normal map. And I'm going to set the normal into the normal right here. Alright, so it's going to take some time to load. There we go. So you can see it kind of fixed the bump for us just the way we want it to. And you can increase and decrease the amount with this value right here. But I'm just going to keep it at 1 as it is. Or I'm going to go with a value of 2 just to kind of give it a bit more bumpiness. Alright. So you can see that will kind of do it for the first part. So let's go back to the viewport, the main viewport. And this is what we have for the first part. Alright. So that's the first texture. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing for the wall, because the wall also has that texture. So I'm going to use the same trick for the wall, but I'm not going to do that on camera because it's going to take too much time. But it's the same process. Just go into edit mode, take that face, this face right here. You can see this one right here. And just going to press U, and you're going to say Cube projection. And once you do the cube projection, let me zoom in real quick over here. Once you do the cube projection, you're going to go U again, and then follow active chords. And then it's going to give you whatever unwrapping you get. You're just going to use that, and then you're just going to lay in the brick wall like this. So first of all, let's separate this from the others so we don't have it attached to this one. So we have only this, and I'm going to go in here now, and let me take the whole thing, scale this up, and then say, I think we scaled it up 4 times or 5 times. I'm going to go with 5 times, or let's say scale 6 times. Yeah, 6 looks much better. Unless, let me just, yeah, 6 is way much better. So I'm going to go with a value of 6. So you're pretty much going to do the same thing for every other brick wall that has it. You can see this pillar over here also has it. So make sure you do it for that one as well. And make sure you do it for every single one that has it, and you're good to go. Alright. So now we can move on to the next texture, which I think would be this area right here. Okay, so that paper, whatever thing that is, sort of paper-ish, we're going to do that one next. So I'm going to take all of the ones that have the material and separate them because they are joined to other objects. So I'm just going to separate this to be on its own, and I'm going to add the new material and then say paper wall. Alright, it looks sort of like a paper, but it's more like a plaster. Alright, but I'm just going to name it paper wall. And let's get over here, take this, press Ctrl T to add in the object coordinates and the image texture. And let me open this, and then go to the architecture, go to the textures. I want to find that. Alright, so this one right here, so it's a completely different texture, this one right here. So I'm going to go with this color variation, the second one. But it's also, I think it's also a paid texture, so you're not going to be able to get that unless you find an equivalent texture that I made you guys download and then use that in place of that. Alright, so I'm going to take this one now. I'm going to press Shift and D and then move that down there. And let me take these two and press F. Alright, so let me just click on this and let's load in the roughness. So that's the gloss right here. And I'm going to set it to non-color. Alright, and let me set this into the roughness. And I'm going to invert it with the color. So color, invert. I'm going to set that in here. Alright, now finally I'm going to load in the normal map. So normal, and I'm going to take these two and press F. And let me just set this to non-color. And I'm going to set that, or let me set that into a normal map first. So take these two, press F, and I'm going to set this into the normal, and there we go. So now we can go in here, take everything, press U, and then say cube projection. And I'm going to say U again, and then say follow active chords. I'm going to say OK. Okay, so we have to make one of the faces the active face, and then U, follow active chords, and then enter. Alright, so now I'm going to take everything. Let me just zoom into this area. We're going to take everything, scale this up, and then say 5. I'm not sure if 5 is enough, but let's get out of edit mode and take a look. I think it pretty much is. Yeah, 5 is a good value, so I'm gonna go with 5. Alright, very nice. Let me increase the strength of the normal map to a value of 2, just to make it look much better. And let me just scale this down a bit, because I think it's way too much. So I'm just gonna scale it down a bit. Let me take a look. Alright, that's way much better. Alright, so we're going to apply the same material to this mesh over here. So let me just click on this button here and then select paper wall. Let me take that whole thing, scale it up by 5 times. I think it's 5 times, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so there we go. So that applies to those ones, and you can see it's already looking good. Alright, so in case you don't know, the brick wall applies to this piece over here as well, except for the one on the base. But every other mesh over here, just separate the walls over here. That's these walls. Let's separate them right away. So this whole wall is a brick wall. So just press P, separate that selection, and apply the brick wall to that as well. And you're good to go. Alright, so which one's next? Which one's next? Which one's next? Okay, so let's go with the concrete ground over here. Alright, so I'm going to go into edit mode. We have the whole thing here. So I'm going to go with a new one, and I'm going to say concrete wall. So concrete wall, like that. And let me take the whole, this principled BSDF here. I'm going to press Ctrl T to add in the image texture and the texture coordinate. And let's open the texture, and we're going to use the texture as the concrete wall. I think it's this one right here. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. So let's load in the color real quick, like that. And let's load in the next one. So Shift and D, move this down. Take these two, press F. And let me open the gloss. So we've got roughness, not gloss, roughness. And let's set that into the roughness right here. And I want to duplicate this again. And let's take that too, press F. And I want to set that to the normal map. So normal. And let's set this to non-color. Set that to non-color. Alright, now let's add in the normal map right here. Take these two, press F. And I'm going to take this vertex here and set it into the normal right there. Alright, very nice. So now we're going to take that whole piece. I'm going to press U and then say what? Cube projection. I'm going to press U again, making sure this is the active element. I'm going to say U and follow active quads. So follow active quads, and there we go. So I want to do the same thing with this one as well. U, follow active quads. Okay. Alright, now I want to do the same thing with this one as well. U, follow active quads. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take all of these, and let me just change the image right here real quick. So I'm going to go concrete wall. Alright, very nice. So let me just zoom into this area, and I'm going to scale this up much bigger. And let me just press G and move this in the Z axis so it covers the whole texture area like this, as you can see. Just to make sure this area looks very nice and sort of make it look like there's water dripping from the top to the bottom and make it look much better. I'm pretty much going to do the same thing with this one as well. So let me take the whole thing, scale it up to about there. Let's take a look at what we have. I think we might have a bit. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna pull it up a bit. Not sure, like that. I think that should be good. So you can see it's looking almost exactly like it. And we're pretty much gonna do the same thing with this one as well. So let me take the whole thing, press G, move that here. Let me scale it up like that. And I think that's good. Alright, so that should do it with that concrete area. Now we're going to go ahead and then increase, because I don't think the normal map is that much. So I'm going to increase this to about a 5 to make it much better, because when water is dripping down a wall like this, it's going to create a lot of dents and stuff in it. So just make sure you increase the strength of the normal map just enough to make it sort of make it look like that. Alright, so yeah, that's the texture out of the way, but the one in the area here is also a different texture. So let's take those and let's add in a new one. Let's say what? Plant soil. Alright, so plant soil. I want to take this and press Ctrl T, press G, and move this up. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have you guys download this, but you should find it on one of those websites that I gave you guys. That texture should be up there. So I'm just going to show you what texture it is. It's a pebble texture, I think. Is it pebble? Yeah, pebble texture. It's I think it's on a texture Haven. You should find it on texture Haven and just load it in there. I'm just gonna press U and then say Cube Projection. So let me just take everything and then scale it up, and let's assign it to it like this, and you can see what we have. Very nice. So for that one, we don't need to add anything else, but if you want to add in a normal map, we're just going to drop this. We're just going to leave that one there. And if you want to add in a normal map, you can just do that by duplicating this and then clicking on this open up. And then just add in that normal map. I don't know what I was saying there. And just open that normal map. Alright, so I'm going to change this to the non-color. And let's add in a vector normal map. Set this in here. Let me just take this to press G and move that there. Press F. And let me just set this into the normal map. And there we go. Alright, so that kind of gives us that normal map that we need, that bump that we need on that surface area. Alright, so that's the third thing out of the way. The next one we're going to do is this piece area over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on and click on new. I want to call this the, what do they call it? Okay, so I'm just going to call it floor. Alright, and let me just take this and press Ctrl T to add in the image texture. Alright, so we're going to open this, and I think I made us download this texture, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. I think it might be this one. Yeah, it's this one right here. So I made you guys download it, so make sure you have it as well. And let's load in all of the other parts of the texture, that is the roughness and the normal map. So we've got the roughness, where's the roughness? Right here. And I'm going to set that into the roughness right there. And let me just change this to non-color and take this to and press F. Take this to and press F. Alright, now let me duplicate this one as well. Take this to, press F. And let me just press G and move that here. Now I want to open this and set in a normal map. Make sure we set this to non-color. And let's add in that normal map again. Take this to, press F. And let me set this into the normal. Come on. Into the normal. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go into edit mode, press U, and say Cube Projection, and then U, follow active quads. We have to make one of these the active elements. And then U, and then follow active quads. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to press G and move that here. And let's scale this up, taking a look at the one we have here. Let's just scale it up. And make sure it's almost the same as that. So I'm just going to scale it up some more. And I think that might be pretty good. I'm just scale it down a bit more because I think, no, not there. Here. I'm going to scale it out in the viewport. Alright, so that should be good. That should totally be good. Okay, very nice. So that does it for that area. And I think the next area is going to be the wood and the metal and some other stuff. But let's do these ones next. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece over here. I'm going to remove this and add in a new one. I'm going to call it concrete wall 2. So concrete wall 2. And let's take this texture here, or the shader, and press Ctrl and T to add in the image texture and everything else. And let's open this. I'm going to find the concrete wall texture. And here's the second concrete wall. I think it's this one right here. Concrete wall. Okay, so I think that was floor. That was concrete floor. What I'm looking for is concrete wall, and this is the one I'm going for, this one right here. So you should find that at, I think, 3dtextures.me. That one was found there. You should get that one as well. And then let's load the color in real quick. Alright, now I'm going to duplicate this and move that down here. And let me take this to and press F. I'm going to set this to be the roughness. No, I think that was the height. Let's find the roughness. Yeah, there we go. And now we're going to set that into the roughness. And let me just duplicate this now. And let me press F, open this up, and set this into the normal map. Now let me change this to non-color. Let me change this as well to non-color. Alright, so I'm going to go to vector normal map and set that in here. Take this to, press F, and I want to take this and set it in here. Alright, now I'm going to go into edit mode. First of all, let me separate these ones, all of these, from the ones at the top and bottom, because those ones are a completely different mesh, which is the bricks that I asked you guys to apply to it. And now we're going to take this one right here, and let's press U, say Cube Projection, and we're going to press U again and follow active quads. Say OK. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. U, follow active quads. OK. I'm going to do the same with this. you follow active quads. Okay, so I'm just going to do it for each and every single one of them all around. Alright, so you can do it for the ones on the back as well, but I feel like that area is not visible, so I'm not going to do it for that area. Alright, so let's take everything and then let's scale it up to the appropriate amount. Let's take a look at this. Alright, not bad. Taking a look at here, which is not too visible, you can pretty much tell the amount that you need, and I think I'm going to go with that. That's pretty good. Alright, now let's take these ones as well and apply the same material to them. So concrete wall. I'm just going to go into edit mode and press U and say Q projection. Is that Q projection? Q projection. Alright, there we go. So let's take everything and pretty much scale it out. Hopefully that works out just by scaling it out. It kind of did. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the walls as well. So just make sure you apply the brick texture to the extra part of these walls. That's this one's right here. Make sure you apply the brick texture to them and also to the wall up here. And yeah, also to these and that. And just take a look at the image here. Make sure you find out the other areas that have the duplicate textures that you need to apply them to, and make sure you apply them to it. Hopefully you can see the image. Let me just go into full screen just so you can see the image and then know which area has the textures that is needed that we've already applied. So yeah, this one pretty much going to end this part, and hopefully in the next part we can do a lot more, and in the final part, which I'm hoping will be the final part, that's the third part after the next part will be the final part, we can end this whole series and then focus on another one. Alright, so this is where I'm going to end this video. I'm really tired right now. I need to go take a rest and play some video game or something. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.